This episode of the Rags to Riches Textile Upcycling Podcast is brought to you by the Unruffled. The Unruffled is a vibrant and feminine collection of slow-made garments and accessories handmade with love by Sandra Primo. Sandra is based in Austin, Texas, and every item she makes is thoughtfully constructed from finely sourced, reused textiles, favoring silks and lace and crochet. Bespoke, one of one, encouraging an infinite circle of recovery. Step into the world of the Unruffled at www.theunruffled.com. And visit the show notes page for this episode at ragstorichestextileupcyclingpodcast.com for links and more information. Welcome to the Rags to Riches Textile Upcycling Podcast, where you'll be inspired by creative textile reuse, recycling, and upcycling. I'll introduce you to textile-centric environmentalists, activists, authors, and entrepreneurs, as well as creatrixes across media encouraging creativity and reduced consumption. You will learn simple, innovative ways to express your creative individuality and reduce your impact on planet Earth. Hang out and connect with super cool people adding tons of value while interrupting the landfill stream. I'm your host, Crispina French, OG textile upcycling entrepreneur and founder of the Stitcherhood Recycling Society, which is this episode's focus, actually. Today, we are diving into all the details. I'll answer your frequently asked questions, share how and why Stitcherhood came to be, get into the actual functionings of how this awesome community for textile upcyclers actually works, and share what's in it for you. This is the story of Stitcherhood. Are you ready? I'm ready. Ever since the very beginning of my textile recycling journey back in 1985, I craved like-minded community and business understanding. If the truth be told, I had no idea that what I was doing would develop into a lifelong creative textile upcycling career. I was a full-time art student working my way through school with 3 part-time jobs and not enough hours in the day. Stumbling in what turned out to be my life's work was initially just a way to earn money on a flexible schedule with little investment and no overhead. The fact that the process I was developing, making stuffed toys called ragamuffins from recycled thrift store sweaters, spoke directly to my environmental passion was an added bonus. A couple of years after graduation, I had 40 employees and an appointment with the Dutchess County's Economic Development Council guys in ties, as I called them, who were coming to visit my Millerton, New York studio to share their insights and guidance. They were super helpful, yet kind of dumbfounded by my business model. It was clear from that very first meeting that there are things about running a textile upcycling business that are just intrinsically different from running a production company using new material. It makes my heart race just a little bit thinking back to my initial realization of their profound confusion. I realized right at that very first meeting back in 1989 that it is really difficult for traditionally trained business mentors to relate to or even clearly understand the textile upcycling business model and offer confidence or helpful advice. Their confusion really did help me to understand the importance of building consistency into my product and costing, my production process and marketing, even with the added intricacies that set upcycled manufacturing apart from the status quo. No one, not one of those guys in ties, nor my bookkeeper, accountant, or other mentors had experience building a recycling production company, and they were all a little apprehensive about my scaling. My business was thriving and getting lots of international press. There were magazine spreads and TV features and high design customers from across the world. An ever-growing flood of orders just kept rolling in. Domestically handmade, all recycled product was fresh and notable in the marketplace. In addition to the non-traditional raw material, my aesthetic, the kind of one-on-oneness and consistency within an understandable range of variation made the blankets, rugs, clothing, and accessories we were producing from worn-out secondhand clothing all the rage. It was awesome. And this little art student over here was just looking for a little knowledgeable support, hand-holding, and guidance through all the business that is running a business. For the first 5 years of my business, revenues more than doubled each year. It was rewarding, demanding, and affirming, yet there were struggles specific to upcycling and no one to turn to for help. Looking back, the most difficult aspect of it all was my unforeseen lack of peers. Figuring out the intricacies of scaling within the constraints of an environmentally sensitive textile upcycling wholesale business was lonely business. The years ticked by, and then textile upcyclers began popping up at the trade shows where I was selling. The cagey vibe of the wholesale fashion industry, based in deep-rooted scarcity mindset, kept most of the upcyclers I ran across from wanting to connect, which was pretty disappointing. Yet, I knew that the idea of mining value from our textile waste stream was beginning to catch on, and that was something to celebrate. Educating with patience, compassion, and kindness, a good dose of humor and no assumption turned out to be a very handy tactic learned during my years of waitressing. When the first person asked me if my work was, air quotes, clean, I leaned right into my waitress brain and explained with kindness just exactly how clean it was. When the first textile upcycler I ran across on the international wholesale show circuit got all cagey with me, I realized that they had copied me and felt weird about it. I decided to write a teaching book. Soon I was consulting and developed take-back and manufacturers' waste reuse programs with the likes of Patagonia, Eileen Fisher, American Apparel, among others. What a boon! My lack of like-minded peers meant that I had no one to brainstorm with, leaving me on my own to figure out what to ask for in exchange for me turning the liability of these big players' textile waste into a revenue stream. Looking back, I didn't ask nearly enough. These highly visible companies promoted their textile recovery programs with no mention of me or my brand. Their promotion built public awareness of our textile waste issue, which educated my customer base and wound up serving me in ways I couldn't have imagined. Suddenly, there were fewer questions and doubters were beginning to be replaced by inspired supporters. With a growing awareness of human impact on Earth, and specifically our excessive consumption of shitty clothing that doesn't last, came a wave of new creative entrepreneurs. Now textile upcyclers reached out to me for community, understanding, and help navigating the intricacies specific to upcycling enterprise. Remembering how lonely it was without a community of peers, it became clear that my life's work included hosting a space where textile upcycling entrepreneurs gather to lift each other up, support, and share experience. And you know what? Stitcherhood is that place. Stitcherhood is designed to support textile upcycling entrepreneurs in community with inspiration, shared experience, tutorials, and a whole bunch of business savvy. It is where those dreaming of building a truly sustainable creative textile upcycling business find the encouragement, support, and know-how needed to actualize their dream. And when I say a truly sustainable textile upcycling business, what I mean is one that not only supports our communities and home planet, but one that supports the entrepreneur creating the business in a way that meets all their needs, including health insurance and a retirement fund, so that they are inspired to continue on their life's path, turning waste into value. Stitcherhood is where environmentally minded textile industry professionals, entrepreneurs, and hobbyists gather to collaborate, bringing companies and crafting closer to balance. It is a place for environmental optimism, a can-do attitude, a realist view of textile waste where creative ingenuity is the resounding answer to designing what I like to call an infinite circle of wins. This infinite cycle of wins works this way. Textile waste is recovered rather than landfilled. Recovery means the cost of landfilling waste is erased. Creativity turns textile waste into something of value. Creativity feeds the soul of the maker. Value means that the output is saleable. Sales mean that the historical cost of disposal has turned into a revenue stream. Sales support the cycle to begin again. The cycle is much more complex and ripples into many more lives than mentioned, but you can fill in the blanks. But let me help. Imagine how differently creative jobs support employees. Imagine how turning trash into high-value, useful products support the well-being of people. The people who are actually making the product, the people who are buying the product, the people who are designing the product, and the people creating well-made clothing businesses to start with. Better quality clothing recycles better. An aware audience understands and supports good value, supporting those businesses creating good quality clothing. Can we keep imagining? Think about how disrupting the landfill flow allows for us to find value in what some think is trash. Imagine the better health of the people who inhabit landfill areas as we slow the flow. Then let's remember the accessibility of this craft, the ease in building a creative textile upcycling business. There's no overhead or upfront investment other than a pair of scissors, a needle and thread or yarn, and some discarded clothing. That's all that's needed to get started. Textile upcycling is a gateway into seeing a world where there is enough for all, where you are enough, and balance is within reach. It is really important work, and it is why Stitcherhood came about. You might be wondering, what is Stitcherhood and how is it actually structured? How does it really work? Well, I'm so glad you asked. Let me tell you. Stitcherhood is a membership community that is hosted on a platform called Mighty Networks. It operates very much like a social media platform. There is an activities feed where members can post articles, quick posts, images, links, and polls. They can leave comments and images on other people's posts. There is a direct messaging feature allowing individual members to communicate directly or group chats with multiple members. We host a group chat for all members to share announcements, links to special events, and other conversations that pertain to Stitcherhood. Members are recognized with our ambassador program and earn prizes when bringing in new members. Special events are hosted within Stitcherhood. Rags to Riches Textile Upcycling Summit, our Potholder Rug Masterclasses and Certification Program, the Upcyclers Mastermind, Stitch-alongs, and many, many courses. Members of Stitcherhood get special pricing on all of these events. And when non-members purchase a special event hosted in Stitcherhood, a window of membership is part of their purchase. Not only are the special events hosted within Stitcherhood, participants in special events have the opportunity to connect with all members and interact with platform content outside of their particular course or event. So cool, right? And you know what's extra cool? Our members. We have vintage clothing purveyors, professional menders. We have teachers, OG upcycling manufacturers who have finally found their tribe. We have newbies launching textile upcycling businesses and everyone in between. The common thread tying us all together is a commitment to textile reuse and our community. Now, for a little bit from behind the scenes. The platform we use is called Mighty Networks. And being completely honest, there are facets that are a little bit clunky about Mighty Networks, but in general, I gotta tell you, I really love the platform. It is actually kind of the antithesis of social media, as there is no advertising and there is no algorithm. It is a women-run business whose mission it is to usher in a world of thriving, unique, and vibrant communities to serve the emerging vanguard of the creator economy. How cool is that, you guys? The creator economy. The creator economy is coming, and Stitcherhood is leading the way. Our community manager and I work closely on developing Stitcherhood content and direction, which is heavily influenced by our members. We are always educating ourselves on the new facets of the platform as they are continually introduced. At the time of this recording, Stitcherhood works this way. There are 2 levels of membership. Our first level is called Curious, the Curious membership, and then we also have our Collaborator membership. Curious members have access to and are encouraged to participate in the Stitcherhood activities feed. This is where polls, questions, book recommendations, mood boards, monthly themes, and monthly challenges are posted. It is also where all members are welcome to and encouraged to share their latest work, questions about technique, tools, and more. Our community manager hosts weekly accountability hours and stitch hours that are open to all. Additionally, we host monthly meet and greets to kick off each month, open to all members. It's an early in the month, end of day gathering to learn new Stitcherhood features, welcome new members, and generally just hang out together. We offer special Curious member pricing on all special events, which equals savings of ranging from about 10 to 30%. Now, the Collaborator members have access to all of that, all the Curious member features, as well as opportunity to be featured in our monthly member profiles and on our Stitcherhood Instagram feed. There is a private Collaborator group chat, live Q&A sessions with guest speakers and hosts, and each week I host a topic-specific hour-long group coaching session focused on building truly sustainable textile upcycling business. So what exactly is our Stitcherhood activities feed? Again, I'm so glad you asked. Each month in Stitcherhood, there is a theme, a book recommendation, and a challenge with valuable prizes. Industry professionals in related fields are invited to choose challenge winners who are awarded prizes like an annual Collaborator membership or free participation in a special event. Past monthly themes include upcycling denim, recycled rugs, and embroidery embellishment. Book recommendations tie to the month's theme, and titles include Slow Clothing by Jane Milburn, The Act of Asking by Amanda Palmer, and The Big Leap by Gay Hendricks. Past monthly challenges that come to mind are create a 12-week content roadmap for your textile upcycling business, make a stitch sampler, make a series of 3 same products. Each Stitcherhood member has a profile where they choose a category, be it entrepreneur, artist, activist, industry professional, or hobbyist. They share a profile picture, introduction, description of their work, bio, and links to all of their places. Stitcherhood notifications can be customized to the preferred method. Some options are sent as text to phone, message to email inbox, direct message, and you can choose to not receive any notifications at all. You can also choose a daily digest, individual messages, or again, none of the above. Just accessing activity in the platform itself. Stitcherhood topics and members can be followed. Your choices here impact what is automatically shown in your activities feed. Topics and members who are not followed can be accessed with a click of Show All at the top of the activities feed. In addition to following members, it is possible to communicate directly with members within the platform using the direct message feature that is located at the top right-hand corner of the screen. Stitcherhood group chats are found there too. Members can initiate group chats among themselves, and we host a couple of group chats for specific groups of members. All of the settings chosen at the initial Stitcherhood account setup are easily edited and can be changed at any time. And because there is no algorithm in Stitcherhood, members can see all posts and can revisit a post they might have seen a week or a month ago easily with a simple search or scroll. There is a Stitcherhood app that downloads to tablets or phones, allowing always access to Stitcherhood and keeping the social media death scroll from being part of the life of our members. Stitcherhood is inclusive. All are welcome, respected, and treated courteously. There are no stupid questions, no expectation or judgment. As a matter of fact, we have a policy that members who post any sort of hate speech or bullying forfeit their membership and are immediately removed from the community. That policy has actually never been used. The one ask we have, in addition to being generally cool, is don't promote products or offers that are not yours within the membership. Don't spam members. It's a slippery slope, so we start with nope. Stitcherhood does, however, encourage spotlighting your work, events, and offers in the member showcase topic. This is where to promote your offer and ask for constructive feedback from the community on specific pages, events, products, and presents. Stitcherhood does cost money. Our entry-level option that we call Curious costs $10 monthly or $97 a year. And our top-tier collaborator option costs $49 monthly or $497 a year. So again, Curious members have access to the following. Our activities feed, which is buzzing with all sorts of sharing, curated by Sandra Primo, our community manager and compassionate, creative textile alchemist in her own right. They have access to the challenge of the month with fun and valuable prizes, our monthly book recommendations, weekly stitch hour, our weekly accountability hour, and our monthly meet and greet. Collaborators get all of that and have opportunity to be featured on the Stitcherhood Instagram feed. They get an opportunity for a feature as our member profile of the month, a listing in our Rags to Riches textile upcycling directory, and special pricing on all Crispina events and classes. Weekly group coaching calls with yours truly, each session focused on a specific topic. Early access and collaborator pricing for all of our events and classes. There's even a private collaborator group chat. And we have monthly access to live Q&A sessions with guest speakers and co-hosts. So this is how the Stitcherhood actually works. When new members join either our Curious or Collaborator plan, they are awarded a free trial to prowl around the platform, learn the ins and outs, and get a general feel for the value and exemplary content shared by the community. Credit card details are required to access our free trial and are only kept on file as long as the membership is active. Before the end of the free trial, members are notified of the date that their card will be charged unless they decide to opt out. When joining, members can choose to be billed annually or monthly. Picking the annual option saves about 20%. Opting out of Stitcherhood is easy and can be done at the end of any billing cycle. If you are like me, I recommend beginning with a monthly billing option to be sure that Stitcherhood is right for you. And just so you know, if you run into any sort of Stitcherhood-related trouble, remember that my team and I are pretty reasonable people who want you to love Stitcherhood and have a positive experience. We are easily accessible if there is any issue and happy to troubleshoot if things are confusing or difficult. I created Stitcherhood for textile upcycling entrepreneurs who crave community of like-minded business people committed to creating truly sustainable businesses by supporting the planet, their communities, and themselves super well so that they can grow and develop their business to help change the way humans consume textiles. Our mission is to help textile upcycling entrepreneurs find great success, inspiration, and comfort in a community of their peers. Stitcherhood is a highly interactive community. Think of it as a tiny Facebook platform minus the ads and algorithm, a place where connections, support, and inspiration are the desired outcome rather than a tool to hide data mining and privacy eradicating. A typical week in Stitcherhood includes multiple daily posts from our members, our community manager, and myself. There are active group chats, polls and questions, comments, feedback, and inspirational posts shared. Our ambassador program, teaching opportunities for our members, a Stitcherhood book club, our Rags to Riches textile upcyclers database, and a la carte options for studio hours and mini courses are all in development. The Stitcherhood community is an inspirational and safe space for everyone. When joining, members agree to be respectful, kind, and courteous. Of course, we tolerate no hate speech or bullying. Self-promotion is encouraged, but spamming is not allowed. We celebrate abundance and know better than to hide behind scarcity. If you are a textile upcycling entrepreneur, whether you are brand new to the arena or have been in it for many years, I look forward to welcoming you to Stitcherhood for a first-hand look-see. We are super proud of the growth in our first year of Stitcherhood and look forward to continued development, providing ever-increasing value, connection, inspiration, and know-how to all textile upcycling, recycling, and reuse creative entrepreneurs. Hey, so I'm over here and I'm serving you a giant air hug because you just finished another episode of the Rags to Riches Textile Upcycling Podcast. Thank you for being with me. Our music is provided by The Lucky Five. Learn more about them at thelucky5.com. Our show is produced and edited by Vandal Hyacinth. If you want to dive in deep, head over to Rags to Riches Textile Upcycling Podcast.com.